Symbols came into my life more than 10 years ago now. And I had two baby boys at the time. And I was just starting to, I wanted to merge art in my yoga classes. I was already setting intentions in my yoga class, and I knew I could translate this into more of a visual something. And I didn't know how to do that. And I found a teacher. Her name was Whitney Freya. And I think she still teaches it. She was doing a 4-month, how to, like, you become a creativity coach. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. And, throughout, she became a dear teacher. And she's the one who introduced me to sacred. Soon as she she used that word, she prescribed me a symbol, my first ever symbol. And I remember being like a bit confused by it. Like I was like, what does this have to do with like anything? And also so enthralled by it. And I've always been inspired by more like esoteric traditions, but this was coming from like all kinds of traditions from around the world. And I just remember having this almost like such a relief, being like, I got this book that she recommended, the Yunab Ku, which a lot of you have seen if you've been to my courses or my retreats or my workshops. And it was like every symbol, that was a language I understood. I was like, I know this. And from a soul place, from a heart place. And so I started studying them, and there's 77 in them, and I went through them all. And what I would do is I so remember this vividly. I would be on my kitchen island, and I would like sketch the symbol. I'm going to show it to you because I still have the primitive one, because also I used to sell them, of course, knowing me. But look, I used to do, this is the hummingbird. So I would like sketch it. I would find like the main theme of it, and then I would just write like this because they've been there's the glue because they've been on the walls so many times. And then there was like the main point that I thought like most stood out, for me. And I went through all 77 of that book. That book became a Bible. I still resource it every week. It gave me a framework, just kind of like astrology as like 12 zodiac sign. Like for me, those became a way to deepen and like to study them. And then this was only, the first part, because what I did after that is I would move to the tune of them. So for example, this is the Mountain card, and the message is about revelation. How can I move to the tune of, these two words? And it became so challenging and so inspiring for me. So then I was like, well, if it moves me, it's gonna move other people. I have to trust that. My son passed away, Tommy passed away during that time that I was like really deep into that study of the symbols. And, that's how I really became connected to the symbol of the butterfly. And the butterfly, it reestablished me into, because death, I couldn't make sense of anything that was happening in my life. I was like, this does not make sense, right? Losing a child does not make sense. But the mythology of the butterfly and the story of the butterfly, that made sense. And it really helped, like symbols really helped to rebalance and reestablish myself in the midst of so much chaos, so much uncertainty, and so much of an identity crisis that I was going through at the time. Now, I've heard of so many other moms that have lost children, or, that they have that connection with the symbol of the butterfly. And, the symbol of the butterfly came in my life in so many forms, not just in like my study of them and just knowing about their transformation and but also like outside of me, and like also a reflection of me, right? It wasn't just like Tommy, my child, that was a butterfly. It was like me becoming a butterfly. And again, that's a language I understood. It's not a logical in my head, but in my heart, I could understand that. My body seemed to really agree with that too. So symbols in a way really saved me. Symbols can become holding places, and that's what the butterfly and many other symbols now have done for me. They become this like a holding space, a garden, or as a holding space, right? Of kind of all the mushy stuff, and a way to look at it in a different light, a way to widen our lens, a way to put like imagination around it, a way to put like all that unseen world and all the mystery that the earth, that we as human like never talk about. And so it became such a way into my dark and my light energies, a way into, it was like they became like a threshold to look inside the places maybe I didn't want to look at. And also like I got freed. And by this, I mean I could open myself up to my grief instead of closing myself off and not knowing which directions to go. I would go back to the butterfly symbol over and over again, and then it became so much specific to me, you know, the different stages of the butterfly, and almost the spiralic nature of the butterfly. And then it's like noticing those same cycles in me. So it's like it becomes so profound and grounds me. Art as that capability, and symbols can, if you're willing to look at them, they can open you up instead of close you down to what life gives you. And what life gave me was this, you know. So fast forward to 10 years from like today, where I stand right now speaking to you on the Guide to Magic Life Instagram stories. I've created this 38 card oracle deck of cards. That's after having created like 4 more, and that's after having obviously widened my lens. I don't just study 77, but there are some in there, of course. You know, since then I've studied like flowers and animals, and so the 38 that are in this oracle deck of cards, you know, really are the ones that basically have helped me the most, and have been the one that have been able to move to it, to meditate with it, that have been able to see it kind of outside of my life too, right? All the different forms that symbols take in our lives. And I've brought them everywhere. They've become the core of everything I teach, everything. Anyways, I was trying to do a reel about this, and it was just too long, and I was like, I just have too much to say. I can't just like put it into like a minute and 30 minutes. And I'm sure there's another way to do this on Instagram, like to post a longer videos, but I haven't figured it out just yet. So I'll be keeping these stories in a little highlight. By now, you know that the Guide to Magic Life Planner, which is sold out. Sorry, it was sold out in December, but it has 1 symbol a month. So that's a way to go about them, with a little oracle. In Guide to Magic Life, we study sometimes up to 3 symbols a month. Usually it's 2, it just depends on how many weeks there are in the month. And of course, we'll always do the first symbol of the month, and then 2 weeks later we have another symbol. So they've become the core of all my yoga classes, all my retreats, also my workshops. So anyways, you know a little the background now. And just like I did with my own study of them, I guide, we do that. We meditate with the symbol, we reflect on the symbol, we move with the symbols, we create with the symbols. And not just that, we have a community that reflects that, and that we get to mingle with and talk about with, and brings even more, amplify what's happening even more. And it's like my dream come true. It really is. And you know, some symbols I've seen many, many times over, and they always teach me more. There's that when that's why when I found the symbols, I was like, I will never not be inspired again in my life, ever. I will never not be inspired because I have symbols. I have that access of them, and what a blessing they've been in my